this we got to jump in with this real quick, man, because this week, boy, it was some serious games happening this week. This what I really realize is the NFL this season. I think this has been one of the best seasons that I've really been watching because it's so unpredictable, and it is like it's just coming at you from all different angles, and it's just good. I like it. I like it. You know, I don't like personally what's happening with the team, but as an overall NFL, I like to watch the games. I like what's going on. So just kicking it off on with Thanksgiving, these Thanksgiving games. You had the Green Bay Packers and the Lions. Um, I had the Lions winning this game, and again, again, we always talk about these things. It really doesn't matter when it comes down to the division games. These could go any way. So I mean, the Packers just decided to put it together, and the Lions. I don't know, man. They are in a must win situation. When it comes to the division. So anyway, I mean, it is what it is. Packers take this one 31-24 in a pretty good game, and what can you say? I mean, it was a division game.
Yeah, NFC North. I don't like the Lions, and I really don't like the Packers. So this was a tough one. Um, the thing about the Packers is when the Packers play well, they are like one of the best teams in the NFL. You just don't know if they're gonna show up, right? Like there's less variance with the Detroit Lions than with the Green Bay Packers. Love was efficient, 18 for 30, 234 and 4 touchdowns. Like he showed up on Thanksgiving Day. I think this is a tough one because Goff put up decent numbers, 20 for 26, 256 and 2 touchdowns, but they lose to the Packers. So the NFC North, you got three really good teams right now, and we'll see how that plays out going towards who's going to make the playoffs and who won't.
Yeah, I think with the Lions, I think we all had them, in a higher, like, performing a little bit better than they've been performing at this point, right? Normally, over the past couple of seasons, by this juncture in the season, they would really be hitting their stride. Um, like Doc said, Goff had a pretty good game. He was efficient as he typically is, right? It's 20 for 26. The running game surprisingly didn't wasn't as explosive as we are accustomed to. Gibbs only had about 86, no, 68 yards rushing, something to that effect. But yeah, they're in a must win. The Bears, right? The Bears are leading that division, and the NFC as a whole. You got some teams that are starting to run away with it, and Lions sitting at 7-5. They find themselves in a must win week to week situation going forward. I feel like they're gonna turn around. I'm at a point now where I believe in Campbell. I think he's gonna find some way to get the guys motivated. But I don't know if they have enough to really make a run in the playoffs. So that's going to be interesting when crunch time comes and the real season starts. It's going to be interesting to see how they perform. I still think they're a better team than the Bears, but not by much. We'll see.
Yeah, interesting. You know what? I owe the fans in Dallas an apology.
What?
Um, yeah, yeah,
Don't do
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Don't do it. Don't do it,
yeah.
Links. Links.
I, I, I,
Links.
I look.
Let me
I,
Links.
I
Links.
look.
Don't do
I'm,
that.
hey,
What?
Don't.
look, man. I'm being honest. You know, I owe the fans in Dallas an apology, man, because as much as I disdain the Dallas Cowboys, they're actually playing good football, man. I mean, for the first time in a long time, they're actually playing good football. And I never thought I would say this, and I really never thought I would say this, but they actually look good. They actually look good. Seriously. And I cannot take it away from them. Seriously, I just can't take it away from them. When you look good, you look good. When you don't look good,
Mm-hmm.
you don't look good.
You don't look good. Yeah.
Everybody knows how I feel about the Dallas Cowboys. However, you know, credit is due. You beat both of the teams that were in the Super Bowl last year. Granted, these are different teams that were in the Super Bowl last year. However, you got to give credit where credit is due. So Dak, look good. Their defense looks good. They're playing inspired. You know, they are. It remains to be seen. Um, Still, if they're going to make the playoffs, it's a long shot. I mean, they got to win all their games. This one coming up is going to be another big one. But and we'll talk about that later. But anyway, I just wanted to I wanted to apologize to the Dallas fans and say, look, you look good. You look good for the last couple of weeks, and that's all I could say. I'm just gonna leave that right there. Dallas Cowboys come up with the win over Kansas City Chiefs. It is what it is.
I thought New Year's resolution started in January. No, they started in December. Turn over a new leaf or something. Um, hey, I, there is nothing more fun than having Dallas Cowboys in-laws at your place on Thanksgiving,
Oh,
watching the Dallas Cowboys win. Oh, it was a festive Thanksgiving. It was very festive. No, the Cowboys have looked good. They now have a chance to win the division.
see, Doc must have froze. I keep coming back.
Yeah, I think the universe is like there's too much love for the Cowboys, man. It's too much. It's too much.
I have to shut
Too
it down.
much. We got to shut this down. We got to shut this down. No,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't think y'all know what y'all do. Y'all ain't know what y'all starting. Don't do that. Don't
Don't do
don't
that.
don't
Don't do
don't
that.
don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. Don't
Don't
worry.
do
I,
it.
I'm setting something up. I'm setting
Yeah.
something up.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because I ain't showing them no love. I ain't
Oh
gonna do it.
man.
But I would say this. Hmm?
No, I was just gonna say, it's a lot of them out there, boy. And they celebrate. There's a lot of them.
We're in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, I mean, just people who I know. Just a lot of
Uh,
Cowboys fans. Yeah.
I don't know any. I used to know some, but
Yeah.
I excommunicated myself from them during football season. I don't. Yeah.
You can't talk. You
We don't.
can't. You
No.
can't, man.
No.
But
We
but
can't
but
talk.
I will say this. The couple one, actually not couple, just one is
Mhm.
one that is Janice's um Janice's cousin,
Mhm.
her husband, and he actually lives in Philly, and he's a Dallas Cowboy fan, and but he's more logical. He's like a logical Cowboys fan. He just say, man, they playing out of their minds. Still don't expect them to make the playoffs, but
Right.
et cetera,
Right.
et cetera. Yeah. So anyway,
Right.
yeah, Doc, you
Yeah.
can pick up anytime, man. Still
You back?
frozen.
Yeah. You still look like you frozen.
Trying to get it together. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, he's one of the more logical ones. Yeah, the other ones are just delude. I mean, they still it's too much. It's too much. There's only so much you can take.
See, I think what you fail to realize, right, is you feel safe. You feel safe to be able to throw a bone, to throw a compliment now.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
they playing good. All
mm.
these all these subtle affirmations of good tidings and joy to the Cowboys. And then the minute they start to get on a real roll, which
Yep.
I pray to God never happens for the next 20 to 30 years, right?
Yeah.
But the minute they start to get on a real roll, then you see the disgustingness coming out, right? Then it's
Hmm.
all it's
Yeah.
just it's just complete in utter. It's just you can't
Yeah.
take it. They
Can't
don't
take it, man.
they don't make no sense. Everything is about them. They gonna win it all
Yep.
every week, every day, every
Every week.
year. No, no.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
we've been
Yeah.
through this. We've seen
Yeah.
this. We've lived long enough to have seen it. I don't want to see
Hmm.
it again. I don't
No.
want to see it
No.
again.
Definitely not.
That being said, I would say this. um, with recent event, and I've said this last week, with the recent events that has happened, bringing
Yeah.
it all to
Yeah.
seriousness now, right? You do
Yeah.
have to give credit to how they've kind of galvanized and especially with the head coach Schottenheimer, and
Mm-hmm.
really get those guys focused. And one has
Yeah.
to think and consider maybe that's being used as a catalyst, as a motivation to really play outside of themselves. And
Yeah.
don't want to use that as an excuse or as some sort of leverage, but the facts are fact. Like that situation happened with
Mm-hmm.
and ever since then they've been playing pretty good ball, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. Inspired. Yeah, Doc. You could continue, Doc.
No man. Like I say, it's to be in Dallas and have the in-laws who Dallas Cowboys fans and it's Thanksgiving and they're just having fun watching the Cowboys, beat Kansas City. Um, Dak's playing well. The two receivers on the outside, 1A and 1B, just making it difficult for defenses. But now that they can actually stop the run and actually have the defense causing teams to be in second and long and third and long, and actually getting guys off, get the defense off the field, generating more punts. Now the offense is playing a bit more relaxed. They don't have to score on literally every single drive. And now they're playing with a lead, which allows that defense to do what it does actually pretty well, which is in a group setting, chase the quarterback. Right? When they couldn't stop the run, second and short, third and short, they can't put pressure on the quarterback. The offenses move down the field and score. Now they can stop the run on first and 10, the second and long, third and longs, helps that defense, which helps the offense, which helps the defense. And that's how they get that momentum kind of going throughout the games. Um, I agree with Lee. I think they've used this without being trite about the situation. I think it's helping them to focus. They're playing with a purpose. I think some of that really is just trying to homage to him, and I think some of it is just them now just being focused and not taking things for granted, and just focusing in on each and every game. People say take each game as if it's the last game. I think there's an element of truth to that with them now, the reality of it, and I think it also kind of helps them stay focused. And I do think Schottenheimer is one of the best head coaches in terms of rallying the folks, that emotional intelligence, really resonating with the team, being authentic. So we'll see where it goes, but yeah, we'll see how they do against Detroit on Thursday. So
Brian Schottenheimer, and one of the best head coaches. Whatever comes after, I never thought I'd see the day. Never thought I'd see the day. But it's true.
yeah,
But it's true. It's true. Like he's showing himself to be well equipped, good head on his shoulders about team management, bringing the team together, saying the right things at the right time. They look organizationally, they look sound as well. They look structured. These are the some of the major qualities you want in your head coach. Scheming aside, like you have some who are they just have an affinity towards the defense, offense, whatever it may be. They may wonder kids, wonder mind, masterminds in those areas. But a traditional, like true blue head coach, he seems to be a pretty good one. And I would be remiss to say, I think Dak, Dak himself, I think he lost his brother to a similar situation,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
yep,
And him having that as part of his history and his personal history, dealing with that, I think that also him being the quarterback helps guide that team and keep them above water and keep them pointing in the right direction, keeping them focused on the right things, while also staying grounded in the situation that just transpired. So they have the right people in the right positions, good leaders.
yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Head coach and quarterback are very much aligned,
Yep.
in spite of folks further up that food chain.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, don't speak now. The Cincinnati Bengals are trying to make a run, man. Joe Burrow is back. Him and Jamar Chase just picked up from where they left off. They were out there eating turkey, that old cold turkey that they had out there, and all that after that game. Um, that didn't even look good. But anyway, Jamar Chase, uh, uh, and Joe Burrow back together. Joe Burrow had 46 attempts coming out, 24 for 46, 261 yards. Chase Brown looks good, average game that he always has. Jamar Chase. I mean, yeah, could the Cincinnati Bengals get back into this? Um, I don't know. They're like 2 games out, I think.
Division
So
is weak.
yeah, your division is
Yeah,
very weak, and so
yeah.
they may have a chance. But Baltimore don't look good at all. And Lee, I think you had mentioned this before. I don't know what's going on with Lamar Jackson, but he just don't look
Yeah.
right. All right. So anyway, Bengals pull it off, man.
So the only way they're gonna make the playoffs is if they win that division, because there's now 4-8.
Correct.
But
Correct.
there's a chance they could win that division, right? Um, it was amazing to see the Bengals defense actually make some plays and show up on Thanksgiving and help get that offense additional drives to score. Because I mean, Burrow I think had like 46 attempts, but then they had like 30 something carries between the running backs, right? Like I mean, they had a lot of plays on offense,
Which is good.
limiting what the Ravens were able to do. There's a chance, right? I thought it was crazy having Burrow come back, shut him down based upon his history and play for next season, but they made a run last year and almost got in. And so I think they're going to try to do it again. And similar to the Cowboys offense, if Burrow, Higgins, and Chase are in the playoffs, they got a puncher's chance against any team they go up against, pretty much. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I don't know what's going on with Lamar. They're not saying it, but yeah, he's calling it on himself, and they're not leaning on Derrick Henry like they were trying to early, last year and earlier this year. And I don't want to say disarray, but they're clearly not all clicking on all cylinders with the Ravens. So
Yeah, I mean, you called it. They had a pretty balanced attack. They being the Bengals. But what really kind of threw me for a loop? Yeah, you had Burrow's 40 what? How many? 46 attempts,
Mhm. Yeah.
and then they had 33 rushing attempts. Right,
Hmm.
79 plays.
Hmm.
Right, I think they total about 75. No, 25 more plays you know than than um than the Ravens. So they obviously they control the ball, and they came out and managed the line of scrimmage. Baltimore just doesn't look good, as we just stated, offense and defense. They're starting to get dinged up as well on the defensive side. But Lamar isn't, he isn't right. Again, he's not using his legs. He's not extending plays and making those above the X's and O's, right? Plays that he used to make back in the day. And I don't think it has anything to do with age, anything like that. I just think he's hurt. I think he's ailing. Something's going on, and they're masking it, which they should be doing. But can the Bengals actually make a push and make it to the playoffs? Yeah. Steelers and the Bang and the Ravens, they both don't look that well. Uh, so I think this is one of those divisions where it's so poor. You got Cincinnati at 4-6. They have a outside shot of actually sneaking in and winning this game. These tiebreakers now could possibly this is going to be possibly a decisioning factor on whether or not they do get in winning games like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of being poor and a division, I'm just gonna single out a team being poor right now. The Chicago Bears coming into Philadelphia, and when you have two, not one, but two running backs that rush for over 100 yards on you, you have a bad day. You have a bad day. Um, uh, Caleb Williams just did what he can do.
He's supposed to
He
do.
made some
Yeah.
throws. It wasn't like he didn't throw for all these yards. However, their running game, the Chicago Bears running game, just manhandled the Eagles. I mean, just pushed them around, bullied them, made them look like punks, and
Oof.
and yeah, I mean that's really how they look. And they was just soft. They was soft, and I give it to Chicago. I give it to Chicago, and I give it to Ben Johnson and the team. They deserve that win. They deserve where they are right now because um, everybody was kind of doubting them, including myself. But when you have, and they started off slow beginning of the season, but when you have a head coach that actually knows what they're doing and actually can can you know run an offense and just disguise things and make things to the defense, have them guessing where guys can get open. You are putting your team in a really really good spot, and I think everyone is inspired. You could even see in the locker room after him pulling off his shirt and doing all that. It was because of that's one thing I don't even mind that, because that's just showing the excitement and the belief that the team has in the direction where they're going. The team hadn't changed from last year from a personnel standpoint that much, apart from the coaching staff. So, man, I got to give it up to the Bears. I'm not even going to talk about the Eagles. I'm just giving it up to the Bears. They deserve it. It was a great, great win. And they just came in, bullied these guys, and left out of there with a big win and a statement win. I would say that in the NFC. So I got to give it up to Chicago, man. They did their thing.
It is hard for me to talk nice about any other team in the NFC North. So the Bears did well, and I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm going to talk about your Philadelphia Eagles. Number one, the football gods just seem to like the toy with the Eagles, because every time AJ Brown has a great game, the Eagles seem to lose.
Yeah.
Like, just for whatever reason, like 10 catches, 2 touchdowns, Eagles lose. Right. And I now officially have a problem with Sirianni as the head coach, because you guys were down by 15. You guys scored a touchdown with about 3.5 minutes left to go with 3 timeouts, and you guys went for the 2-point conversion. And for the life of me, that math is not mathing to me. I know some people are talking about you want to know whether you get it or not. So if you don't, you then know what you need to do down the road. It's like you need to score 2 times in 3.5 minutes with a team that don't put 24 points on you. Like this, that don't make no sense. The chances that happen are really, really low. I'd rather take my chance with the defense thinking, hey, we're down by 8. If we can stop them, offense can come down and score, and the 2-point conversion could tie the game and go into overtime and take our chances. I like those percentages better than the go for 2 early, and if you don't get it, then you know you're down by 9, and what you got to do with 3.5 minutes left to go. I just think it's poor coaching. I don't just take momentum into account. There's someone using the computer, not understanding human beings. And so for all the reasons folks have said on this podcast about wondering about Sirianni as a head coach, to me, this just adds to the list and tips the scale. So Eagles are in trouble. It's internal struggle. It's internal strife. But yeah, Eagles in trouble. They got to figure things out and fast. And I'll leave it at that.
The sip of tea.
Sipping my tea.
Little
Just sipping my tea.
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, just sipping my tea. Links, what I said from week 1 about Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
What I say from week 1? I said it week
man.
1.
Yeah.
I said it week 2. I said it week 3. Right. The only week I didn't say it was when you guys beat us, because I didn't want it to seem like sour grapes. Right. But
Yeah.
but seriously, I said he's not a good coach. Right.
Yeah.
Just from the eye test. Yes, you all won the Super Bowl last year, and then that masked a whole lot of deficiencies that I saw.
Yeah.
He's not a good coach. I still for the life of me, I don't know how he has this job. Not how he's keeping the job, how he even got the job. Because even when you look at his history, where he came from, he's with the Colts when Frank Reich was the head coach. That offense, and he was the offensive coordinator, and that offense was trash.
Yeah.
right?
But guess what? He wasn't even
What?
still not even calling the plays.
I know that exactly. That's my point. How we get this job?
I don't know, man.
I don't understand it. And so now here he comes, and again, he is the beneficiary of an excellent A+ GM, a stable organization, plethora of good players, and he's had during his tenure a couple of stints with some premium coordinators on both the offense and defensive side.
Mhm.
He's not a good coach. So now, when things are starting to dismantle, things are going awry, even with the winning record. See, because that's the thing. When you're winning and people are still like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
That's a leadership problem. And
Yeah.
you right up there, man. You at the top of the mountain. You're the guy that need to speak to all of this, and you're not addressing nothing. And then when you do have the opportunity to address it, not that you got to give details. No one is asking for specifics, but they just want to know: Are you going to make a change? Are you going to adjust? No, we're not adjusting. We're not changing. Come on, man. Come
Yeah.
on. Come
We
Yeah.
all
on.
need to
Right?
change. We all
You all
need
need
to
to change. This
change.
NFL, the NFL right now, the way the NFL is currently situated, where it is built on parity. There's no team that is dominating anymore.
Mm-mm.
Therefore, everyone has to be able to adjust and change during the course of the season. That's the only way you're going to make it through. If you're not changing, if you're not adjusting, if you're not tinkering, right, you're dead in the water. And this dude, he just riding the coattails of his players, thinking they're gonna figure it out. And as a coach, he's not making any schematic changes.
He
So
can't.
he he
He
but
can't.
but you can try. at least
I don't
at
even think
least
I don't.
try.
Lee,
You look at
I
look
don't
hey
even.
look but look at Dan Campbell. Dan
Yeah.
Campbell saw there was an issue. I'm gonna call the plays now.
Yeah.
Come on, Sirianni. You were an offensive coordinator. Call the plays. Do
He can't
something.
do it. He can't do it.
Get you promote your quarterback coach then.
Yeah.
You need something. You need to
Yeah.
make some adjustment. But he's afraid. It sounds like he's afraid to hurt feelings or to
Yeah.
get on the bad side of friends, these
Yeah.
friend coaches he got in the
Yep.
organization. Ain't no
Hmm.
friends.
No friends in this.
Ain't no friends in this.
No.
So yeah,
No.
man, he sucks. He
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
You need to go.
I definitely agree with you on that. I think after this season, he could definitely be gone. I was just and I'll just make one last point on this. I was watching that game, and they pan up to the owner's booth, and this is the look the look on the owner's face, on Jeffrey Lurie's face, that that I saw. This was the
Yeah.
same look when Doug Peterson got fired.
Peterson.
It
Hmm.
was the same look, and I was like, all
He
he
gone.
doing, he's not a Jerry, he's not a Jerry Jones. This
Yeah.
dude, he's not even gonna fire him during the season.
Yeah.
He's gonna wait till
Hmm.
it all crashes and burns, which is going to do, which is
Hmm.
happening right now. We watching it,
Right now.
and
Yeah.
after the season, he's gonna be gone. I
Yeah.
promise you that. So anyway, yeah, that's gonna play itself out at the end of the season, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right, moving on. Lee,
Yeah.
you guys
Let's
went to
go.
Carolina. You
Yep.
played the Carolina Panthers. I was in and out on this game because I was like, Rams got this in the bag. This is a done. And at the beginning of the game, I was like, oh yeah, this over. Yeah, because I saw y'all marching down, and I was like, yeah, this over. What happened? I mean, I know at the end of the game, it was Matthew Stafford with the fumble, under pressure at the end of the game, but the Carolina Panthers, is this who the
Yeah.
Carolina this 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 was a fluke. I mean, well, anyway, I don't even know what to say. But I was looking at the Panthers, and I was looking at you guys, and I was like, how is this even happening?
Yeah.
But the Carolina Panthers were playing out of their minds. It looks like what's the quarterback name? What's Bryce Young?
Bryce Young. Bryce Young.
Bryce Young was balling. Bryce Young
Yep.
was balling. And the running game was doing their thing. Defense was playing like crazy. So yeah, but I really expected y'all defense to do something else, but it didn't materialize. And so yeah, I definitely want to hear from y'all on this one, like how this all went down, man. Because Carolina, I mean they starting to make a run. So yeah, enlighten me on that.
You can go, Doc.
So um, the Carolina Panthers are one of those teams where if you don't bring your A game, you have a chance to lose. Like they're not a dominant team, but they're playing sound football. Canales has them playing good football. The Rams had several turnovers. The Panthers ran a whole bunch of plays. They went with the run, even though they wasn't getting a whole bunch of yards. They was getting enough yards to keep moving them chains. And Bryce Young was really, really efficient, 15 for 20. They went for anything twice on fourth down, and both times they scored touchdowns. So when you gamble aggressively on offense and you score, and then the other team has several turnovers, including a pick six, which is very uncharacteristic for Stafford, uh, you just lose, right? So like that's how much better the Rams are than the Panthers. It's the Rams bringing their C game, and the Panthers bringing their A game, and the
Hmm.
Panthers just win. I think for the Rams, if there's a silver lining and it's very, very thin, it's one of those, hey, we needed this just to going into the playoffs to be like, hey, we got to bring our A game every single game, right? Like the
Yeah.
things was going kind of easy, and we were just showing up every week and winning games. And we didn't have a good game, and they had a good game, and we just lost. And we'd rather that happen last week in November than first week in January, right?
Mm.
Second week in January. So I think you play this 10 more times, the Rams are going to win at least eight of them, but they didn't have a good showing, and the Panthers played well. And I think last year they wouldn't have played well enough to win the game anyway. And it'd be like, when it's like, oh, they got so close. This year they actually play good enough football with their head coach that they're able to pull this one out. But that's just my thoughts on it.
No, those are good thoughts. I mean, you had some really key points there. Link, you said what happened, right? So, Doc stated when you give up a touchdown twice on fourth down, same player giving it up. I don't like to just call one play out and say it's his fault, but Emmanuel,
You know,
yeah,
look at game.
Forbes, that yeah, man, like he was playing, he was starting to play better since the Eagles game, and he was turning it around, and I was buying into because he was shutting guys down, and in this game he was a weak link, unfortunately. He gave up both of those plays. He got beat. I mean, beat bad on both of them. Horrible. So you had that situation, and basically what it is like I said, just like what Doc said, we didn't bring our A game, not at all. We have the three turnovers, sloppy on defense, giving up big plays at critical moments, and then you have Carolina who had no turnovers. They were efficient. They controlled the line of scrimmage. They controlled the time of possession, right? So they had all these things going for them, and we still lost by 3 points. We were still in it until the very end. Um, I think it was a loss that was needed, and I really mean that. I think we were at a point where the game was starting to look too easy, and you're like, are these guys going to get complacent coming? And you don't want complacency in the playoffs. So I think this is really the right time for them to just get kicked in the teeth and just say, hey, we have to really buckle down and we got to stay focused and make sure that we're bringing our a game every week. And I like it. I like the loss. Like this was a loss that was needed. It's not too detrimental. It don't feel good, not at all. But I heard what McVay said after the game. He said they're gonna rally from this. They're gonna look at the tape. They're gonna figure out. They're gonna make adjustment. They're going to make changes, right? And going forward, they're going to make sure that they don't find themselves in this position again.
Yeah.
So kudos to the Panthers. I think they really wanted this win. They are vying for, I think, the division lead in the NFC
Hmm.
South,
Hmm.
and they are a team, man. If you go in there and if you're not bringing it, they're gonna win. They're gonna beat you down.
Yeah.
And now you have Chuba Hubbard as well. He's now finally getting healthy.
Yeah.
See, because he came back early this season, but he still wasn't 100%. Now he's starting to get healthy, and now you got two A+ running backs, him and Dowdle. That's
Yeah.
gonna be that's gonna be a handful to deal with those guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then on the wide receiver side, Tedero McMillan, the rookie wide receiver, he looks pretty good. He beat Forbes on one of those fourth down plays. I think it was like 4th and 2, and he beat him across the middle, streaming up into the touch to the end zone. And Bryce Young, managing the man, he's game manager role,
Hmm.
not making mistakes, executing, and taking what the defense is giving him. And when it's time to make a play, he's maneuvering in the pocket and extending plays and making it happen. So kudos to them, man. It was a good win for Carolina, but I think the Rams, if if McVay says that does what he says he's going to do, they should be able to rally from this and make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. 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 One thing I got to highlight, that catch by
Yeah,
Puka Nakua, man. Whoo, boy,
yeah,
that
yeah,
was that that dude is legit. I mean, that was
yeah.
crazy. And it was a couple of those catches in the this weekend, but his, I
Hmm.
mean, and it was raining.
It
So
was
that,
raining
yeah,
too. Yep,
yeah, that's
yep.
that's legit. So definitely got it. Y'all got some gems there, man. All right, you got the 49ers uh, went to Cleveland to play the Browns, 26-8. 49ers continuing, man. The defense was stifling there. Shador Sanders again got the start. Can't blame him on anything. I know him and Jerry Judy on the sideline, going at it. I don't know what that was all about. I don't know if Jerry Judy was in the wrong or yeah.
It
What you
was it,
guys
wa-
think?
it was one sided,
Yeah,
right? So Shador, he was just looking at his tablet, trying to get ready for the next game, next play.
yeah,
Judy was the one that approached him. Judy was the one that initiated it. Talking about, hey, give me the ball. I was open. I was open. I was open.
yeah.
Classless. You
Classless.
don't
Yeah,
that's not the time and place to do
yeah,
that,
yeah.
especially in the middle of a game. Come on,
Right.
man. You
Yeah,
don't do that.
yeah. You
Yeah.
you don't do that.
It it, it seemed it
Yeah,
seemed personal. It seemed
yeah, yeah,
personal.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to figure out if he's a Dylan Gabriel guy. Maybe Dylan was hitting him in stride, maybe, and he was, he's more of a Dylan Gabriel guy.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, we didn't see him do that with Flacco. We didn't see him do it with Gabriel. And I mean, best of my knowledge, it wasn't like he was lighting it up with those guys either.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Right? Yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, beyond that point, 49ers, just methodical, definitely looking good. And defense, like I said, still playing good, man. And Shador still going to get the start, they say, next week again. But yeah, 49ers, man, they keeping pace. They are keeping pace in you guys' division.
Yeah.
And they're just continuing to win these games, even injured or not. They continuing to move forward.
Yeah. Classic San Fran against, I guess, classic Cleveland. Shador didn't have an amazing game. He didn't have a horrible game. He 16 for 25, had a touchdown. I think he's going to start next week and probably for the foreseeable future. Brock Purdy did pretty decent, 16 for 29 for 168 and a touchdown as well. Miles Garrett got his sack, so he's working towards breaking that single season sack record, which he's probably going to get in like another 2 weeks because Deuce is having
Yeah,
an
yeah,
amazing season. Um, but yeah, the Niners just they're hanging around and getting healthier as the season goes on too. So um, they're trying to breathe down LA's neck. We'll see how things go as the rest of the season goes on. But yeah,
I mean, I just want to talk about the 49ers and that awesome defense. Um, that Salah got those guys balling, and with them being all dinged up, the job that he's doing is masterful. Again, it's warranted a head coaching position. I hope teams are looking at this and acknowledging what he's doing with just the little resources that he has, and he deserves a shot. You can't judge him by what happened with the Jets. We all know the Jets are a debacle from head to toe. He was the only stabilizer that was there. Look what happened when he left, and now he's with 49ers. Better organization, team, better structure, players hurt, and they're still they're just knocking people teeth out. So kudos to Robert Sala. Wishing him all the best. Hoping next season he finds himself in Tennessee or you know whatever other team that's out there looking for a head coach.
but away from San Fran.
I mean, that's what would have to happen if he does go to another team, right? So I mean, I think that's the effect of what
Yeah,
getting a head coaching job would do.
yeah.
Arizona,
Yeah.
Arizona.
I don't care where he goes. I don't care. Once it's not with that team.
Okay,
Okay. It don't matter.
just wanted to see if there was some parameters about
He
the
can go to
placement.
none
That
away from that team.
I got you.
Arizona, he can go to Seattle. I don't care.
Hey,
He could,
with that
he
being,
could go. He could go to Seattle and be the Seattle defensive head coordinator.
I think with that being said, what you're saying there, I definitely think he will get one in the off season for sure.
Yeah.
With these openings, I hope it's in Philly. Uh,
Ooh, ooh.
I didn't see that coming.
yeah, yeah,
But you know what, Lynx?
yeah,
Yeah.
He would be a really good fit there
Yep.
yeah.
because you saw how he handled the New York market
Oh yeah, yeah,
with the class and the strength. Like he
yeah,
knew he was at the podium and he spoke to everything that was going on.
yep,
He would actually really be a good fit in Philly.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I can
Blue
see it.
collar, no nonsense.
yeah,
Exactly.
Philly
Yep,
fans love that.
yep.
yeah.
Just keep it real.
Be upfront. Be upfront. Don't be beating around the bush.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So, look, right now, the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I still don't understand how the Jacksonville Jaguars are 8-4. However, we'll talk about that. But the Houston Texans are coming. They are nipping. They are nipping on the door. Just took down the Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts, and I think Lee, you had mentioned this, or Doc, one of y'all had mentioned this, that Indianapolis wasn't looking like the championship team that we thought they were earlier in the season. And we figured around this kind of time when they started playing some teams, some things was going to start revealing themselves. And it
Hmm.
looks like that is starting to happen. The Houston Texans, and you guys know, I've always been talking about D'Amico Ryans and this Houston
Yep.
Texans team. I wasn't kind of like sure, but man, that defense, they are swarming. They are showing some things. They are playing, and I didn't even know, Lee, when we talked about this game, we didn't even know C.J. Stroud was going to be back. C.J. Stroud,
Right. Yeah.
came back and was balling out. And so, if they can continue to hold that line for him, and he can have some time, uh, people better watch out for the Houston Texans. You may not want to play them anytime soon because these dudes are balling. They're playing really, really inspired. I like what I see coming out of Houston, man. So these guys took care of business, handled the number one team in their division, and they're one game out.
One game out. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Houston's on the way up, and Indy's trending down. Jones had a decent game. Daniels had a decent game. Jonathan Taylor wasn't amazing, good but not amazing. And they put up 16 points. Houston put up 20. I think the amazing thing with the way Houston's defense is playing, because if it's not the best defense in the league, it's pretty darn close. Is
Yeah.
now that C.J. Stroud is back, is that offense going to actually play and support the defense? Because a year ago, 2 years ago, the offense was prolific, and everyone's talking about the offense. And this defense is probably championship winning potential defense. The question now is the offense going to complement the defense? And what I mean by that is not turn the ball over because CJ Stroud had an interception. All right. Play play ball control, keep the defense fresh, and let the defense go do what they got to do. And I'll put the defense in the bind, which is different because his whole time in Houston, CJ Stroud's been like the guy. And are they going to be able to actually work this thing this season as a team? Not that different than what Casey's done the last couple of years, where hey, we need Mahomes just to make a couple of plays. The defense actually is the strength, and the offense just complements the defense, not putting us in trouble. So that's what I want to look to see because I think if they can do that, they're going to be a really tough out should they make the playoffs.
Well, I think Doc, everything you just questioned and what you were looking to see if it would happen, that's kind of what happened in this game. Stroud came back, and yeah, he did have about 35 attempts, but they were pretty solid with matching that up with some good runs.
Good marks.
Um,
Yep.
right, and Marks and Chubb. Chubb had a
Yep.
touchdown, and I think Collins had a rushing touchdown as well, 7 yards. But they're mixing it. The offensive line still isn't where it needs to be, and I think that's what's inhibiting them from really being as effective on the ground as they would like to be. But they are playing complementary ball from what I saw to the defense. The defense is it. This is a defense first team,
Yeah.
and I think Stroud is a type of quarterback where he's going to do what's required in order to win. And if it means throttling it back, being more of a dink and dunk, managing the time, giving the defense time to rest on the sidelines and extending the drives, he's going to do that. That's what they showed in this game. They took the ball out of Carolina's hands by again controlling the time of possession. They had the ball for 34 minutes. The Colts had it for 25. So they did what they were supposed to do and then on top of that, they kept Jonathan Taylor in check. Again, this is the second game where you see the Colts, they went up against a pretty good defense, and that defense was able to stifle the running game. And Jonathan Taylor's his MVP bid is starting to take a hit now. But that being said, Daniel Jones still had a pretty good game. He still looked way better than he ever did with the Giants, but they are trending down. Texans are trending up. I love it for D'Amico Ryans. He's a heck of a coach. I think people need to start considering him coach of the year, right, for what he's done with this team and with all of the injuries that they've sustained and how he's been able to keep them relevant and afloat. But good win for the Texans.
Yeah. In this next game, man, I'll be honest. I didn't even watch the game, man. I didn't even look at the highlights. The Saints and the Dolphins. I didn't look at nothing in this game.
Yeah.
I just saw the score was 21-17. I really didn't. I got to lean on you guys for this one. I was really not interested in looking at
Do
it.
we have to talk about this game?
We could skip over.
Can we skip this one?
What's your-
I'm pretty sure. I mean, Doc always got something to say about these games.
No.
Doc will probably find something to say
No,
about it.
you good.
You know,
You good?
you good?
Yeah, yeah, okay. We'll go.
Yeah.
We'll go next. We'll go next. Yeah, it is what it is. So,
It is what it is.
yeah. Lee, you picked the Falcons week after week, man,
Yeah.
and yet again,
hmm
yet again. You know what? I thought I said, I said the Falcons might actually win this game. I say Lee with you. I said,
Yeah.
all right, Falcons might win this one. But no. Tyrod Taylor runs it in the end zone. They score up. They tie the score up. Falcons go 3 and out, and the Jets come down, score, win the game. And typical Falcons fashion. They've lost. I think they've lost at least 3 games this year in overtime, just like this,
Yes.
without fail.
hmm
Come on, man. That's the Falcons, man.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew, but I was like, come on now, the Jets. Hey, yeah, boy, Falcons got something going on, man. I don't know what it is, but they got something going on that they just can't pull these games out. It's so poor. But anyway, as expected, the Falcons crumble in overtime, 27-24 to the Jets.
Y'all don't seem to be supporting the Falcons like I be, supporting the Dallas Cowboys, physically,
I'm I picked them. I pick them every week. What you talking about? I pick them every week.
Yeah.
I support them.
That's a tough one, man. Losing, losing in overtime, and Cousins had a decent game. They ran the ball with Bijan Robinson. Somehow they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. The Jets win a game, messing up their plans to get the number one overall pick. I don't understand how the parity works on the back end of things, where the teams who are trying to fight for the bottom don't seem to want it, like a hot potato for the number one pick. But that's okay. But yeah, happy for Tyrod. Happy for Jets fans. They got another one. So I think I'm trying to know what the over under is for the number of wins for New York teams. I think they may actually just be crossing that like 7 threshold for the season. So anyway, we'll keep going.
Yeah, but I just let it be known that I am supporting them. I pick them every week. I don't know how much more support you want me to help for them, dog.
Every week.
Would you want me to go to the games? Want me to wear the paraphernalia? I mean, that ain't gonna happen. But how much more support
You, no,
you want to see?
you picking the Falcons, or you like, yeah, well, Falcons again this week. Let's see what happens this week.
Well, there's a method to the madness. There's a method to the madness. But I would say this:
Yeah,
I am genuinely hoping that they win.
that's good. That's good enough.
Yeah,
That's good
yeah.
enough.
I'm hoping that they win.
That's good enough.
Right? And
Yeah.
at the end of the season, when the season's over, I will reveal why I'm doing it. But yeah, I'm hoping that they win
Okay.
Hoping they
every
win.
week.
Every
Right?
week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know.
I'm hoping that they win every week.
I'll keep that quiet. I think I've done the math, but yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
yes.
Now that being said, this was. I mean, links. I don't. I every like how many games they've lost like this?
It
It's
have to
like
be. Yeah.
literally snatching defeat out of the jaws of victory. Right? Um, you have a situation where they got Bijan Robinson going. He had a pretty good game. But look, when you got Kurt, you know, two chains, cousins, as a quarterback, I don't really have a lot of faith in them pulling anything out, when the game is on the line like that. So that being said, Jets, right? Jets trying to play themselves out of that number one draft spot. Kudos to them. Um, Happy for Aaron Glenn, getting another dub. Is that 3 wins for them now?
3. Yep.
3 wins, yeah, yeah. So ever since they offloaded all of those good, awesome players, they seem to be picking up some steam and getting some wins. But I think the Falcons are out of it. I don't see them making any sort of a rally. Well, no. Let me stop. They're gonna make a rally. They're gonna make a run. They're still gonna make a push for the
Stop.
NFC South title,
Stop this, man.
right?
Stop
I'm,
this.
I'm gonna I'm gonna believe in them.
If
I'm
Cowboys
going
could
to
do it,
believe.
if
Yeah,
Cowboys could do it,
thank you.
Falcons could do
If
it.
the Bengals could do it, right? The Bengals could do it. Falcons could do it too. So
Oh
let's see
man.
what happens. Outside of that, I don't know what else they could have done. Bijan Robinson had 23 rushing attempts, 142 yards rushing, and a touchdown. Probably should have had more. Um, they keep giving the ball to Algier in the red zone. I don't know why. Just give it to Bijan. I got him on fantasy. I need the points.
I know. I
Right.
know. I
So
know. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah. So let just keep feeding him, please.
Yeah.
Drake London is hurt. So
Uh-huh.
that's another thing against them.
Mm.
Kyle Pitts, I gave up on him. I
Yeah.
thought he had a lot of potential. I thought that he would somehow emerge as a top flight tight end in the league. Obviously, he's not going to tight end university,
Mm-mm.
He's whatever that function is, whenever they having that, he ain't. I would bet money he isn't attending. He ain't going to that because with all of the talent that he has, he should be performing a lot better now. And he has too many just absurd drops,
Yeah,
and not just drops that lead into interceptions.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, they need to offload him. I would offload him in a quick, fast, and a hurry. If I could get a fourth round for him, I would do it.
Yeah.
Um, but outside of that, man, let's see what happens to them next week. And both these Jets, I don't think they're going anywhere. But if the Falcons really want to turn this around, they got to start playing better come next week.
Yeah. Ain't nothing happening, man.
We'll
Um,
see, man. Don't give up. Don't give up faith.
yeah, I've been give up on them, man. Been give up. Speaking about give up, this is another team that needs to give up. The Arizona Cardinals. They just need to they need to pack it in. I think, like I said, I think everybody in the division. I mean, everybody on this team, from the coach to the quarterback, everybody's going to be gone. I don't see anything. It's going to be a total revamp there in Arizona. With that being said, Jacoby Brissett, still had a good game. I mean, he had 301 yards. He had a good game. I was watching this game, but I'm trying to remember what happened at the end of the game, and I cannot quite bring that back to my memory. But Baker Mayfield, came back, even being,
Mhm.
had a shoulder or arm injury, came back, played a good game, and the Buccaneers did what they were supposed to do in this game and win it. If they were trying to stay in any kind of contention in the NFC South, because with the surging Carolina Panthers coming nipping on their heels, they had to win
Yeah.
this game. So they did what they were supposed to do by field goal. And like I said, Jacoby Brissett looked good, but I just can't remember what happened at the end of the game on why how this ended. I watched it, but I'm not. It's not coming back.
Yeah, Bucks were ahead, and think Arizona scored, and then got the ball back, but didn't do much with it, and then Tampa was pretty much able to ice it after that.
I got you. Okay.
Baker Baker continues to impress, playing through that injury, and as you guys were talking about, they needed this win, so he came through and gutted it out, and they did just enough. I think Jacoby will probably be someplace else, but if he's not starting, I mean, he's at least a great backup quarterback.
Hmm.
And Arizona, at least on offense, looks better with him than Kyler Murray. So I'm not sure where Kyler's going to end up, and or we've seen a whole bunch of quarterbacks with wonderful second halves when they go to different teams. So I wish for Kyler's sake something like that happens to him if he goes someplace else. But seemingly his time in Arizona is probably coming to an end, and hopefully he can grow as some of these other quarterbacks have through the years. So
Yeah, with the Buccaneers, Bucky Irvin is back,
Yep.
and so this was his first game back for since the beginning of the season. He had a pretty good showing, 17 attempts, 61 yards and a touchdown. They kind of eased him into it, but he looks he looks electric. He looked pretty good. Baker Mayfield, a lot of respect for him, gutting it out, playing through that injury. The Buccaneers defense, they did their thing, but this is the Cardinals, man. It's the Cardinals. One of the worst run organizations in the league. I think Gannon, their head coach, he's kind of out of his depth. He can't seem to figure it out on the offensive side. He's not an offensive coach, but he doesn't. I don't think he has a good partner, as an offensive coordinator on this team, on his squad. So unless he can figure out a good hire to fix that, he's going to probably be out of a job. Uh, Hopefully, they give him another shot and they give him an opportunity to select his own quarterback because, as Doc said, I don't think Kyler Murray is going to be there next season. And it's not because of a lack of talent. I just think it's just a lack of his professionalism and his the lack of attention to detail. Um, the fact that he has not been able to create some sort of a synergy, a connection with Marvin Harrison Jr. is that's inexcusable to me. That's inexcusable to me. So they need to find a quarterback that can complement that receiver because that's a one receiver if you can get him the ball, and they could get a lot. I think still for Kyler Murray if they play their cards right. But outside of that, Cardinals, I don't think they're going anywhere this season. The Bucks, they're still vying for that top spot in the South with Carolina and the Falcons, and we'll see what happens the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Jonathan Gannon was with the Philadelphia Eagles a couple years ago.
Hmm.
Again,
Yeah.
defensive coordinator with the Eagles. He's a defensive guy. Yeah, Lee, you hit it straight on. He definitely needs some help. I hope he does actually. When you say that, I hope he does get a shot. But
Hmm.
like you said, bring in an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Does this sound eerily similar to somebody, who you got to bring in somebody who actually know what they doing? Anyway, man, I'm getting on a rant, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Don't do it.
I hopefully, yeah, hopefully he gets a shot, a
Yeah.
good OC.
He won a Super Bowl with you guys, right? As a DC.
No, did he?
He wasn't with Peterson. No, no,
No,
not Peter. No, he went to the Super Bowl.
he
He
went to
went
the
to the
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
Yep,
Yeah.
he went to the
Okay. He
Super Bowl.
lost.
Yeah,
Yeah. Got
yep,
you.
yeah. So, all right, this next game, this was another one I didn't hardly watch. Jacksonville Jaguars 25, Tennessee Titans 3. Your boy Lee Trevor Lawrence,
He ain't my boy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
make
You want to claim Justin Herbert as your boy and want to give me Trevor Lawrence? No,
you
no,
Trevor Lawrence.
no. You ain't doing that.
Yeah,
I ain't
yeah.
playing them games with
He
you.
but look, hey, he threw for 229 yards, 2 TDs. He got sacked 3 times. I mean, it's just it's one of those things. Jacksonville wins the game. They're playing Tennessee. I didn't expect anything different. I figured they were gonna win. I didn't know if Tennessee was gonna rise up or not, but obviously they didn't. So, yeah, Tennessee I mean, Jacksonville, sharing for the lead right now with Indianapolis. So yeah, they're 8-4, man.
I don't know how that they're 8-4. I don't take them uh, as when I say as legitimate. I think if it comes down to them versus Indy or them versus Houston, I would take either of those teams against Jacksonville. It must be strength of schedule or something. But that being said, they played Tennessee. They beat up on Tennessee, so they at least did what they were supposed to do. I'm going to leave it at that. So
Yeah, 4 out of the last 5 games they won. They beat the Raiders, the Chargers that were beaten up, the Cardinals, and now Tennessee. They lost to Houston during that stint. But one could say at the beginning of the season, the 4 wins they had were against the Panthers, against again Houston early in the season, the 49ers and the Chiefs. I don't know what to say about this team. I think this is as helter skelter as you get. And it makes me nervous to even try to put any faith in them because you don't know what you're going to get week to week with these guys. Uh, Lawrence, he's streaky. Yeah, and not game to game. He's streaky play to play. The running game is inconsistent. The defense seems to be adequate. It's solid. It's good, not great. But I think right now, at this point in the season, they are benefiting from a weaker part of the schedule. They play the Colts. We'll see what happens there. They play the Jets. Then they play the Broncos, the Colts again, and then they end the season with Tennessee. So I mean, they could easily win the next three to four games. I think going to the end of the season. I don't think they're going to be the Broncos. Tennessee, there's nothing to say about Tennessee. There's nothing to say about Tennessee. Tennessee right now, they're looking for a head coach. They got the number one spot. They need to get what's the quarterback name?
Cam Ward.
Cam Ward. They need to get him a bona fide weapon on
Yeah,
offense. They need to do what they did with Burrow. They need to find the best receiver they could possibly get out of this draft and pair him up with Cam Ward, shore up that line, and then you could possibly see one of the biggest turnarounds you'd ever seen in the NFL if they did something like that.
Yeah, yeah, I could believe that for sure. Um, Doc, what happened to your Minnesota Vikings, man? Look, your defense is on point. I mean, you got the defense playing well. I mean, swarming, moving around, doing their thing. I mean, they was putting pressure on Darnold. They were actually, trying to keep you all in there. But with the interceptions, and with your third string quarterback, um, there's nothing y'all could do, man. It was just tough. I mean, if y'all had a quarterback, uh, y'all could have won this game easily, I think, or been in the game competing because your defense is there. I mean, is obviously you could see that, but I mean, it was just inept on offense, man, and it's boy, yeah, it's tough. I don't know what y'all gonna do. I don't know what's going on, man. I definitely want to hear from you on this one.
Lee, you mind going first?
Yeah. Okay. So I think this is one of those situations, right, where you take a look at how a roster is structured, right, and in the case of the Vikings, your top player, right, and the player that's commanding the most money is a wide receiver. And I think this is exhibit A on how what not to do, right? When you're building your team. And this is why it kind of shines a light on why the quarterback position is so important. If you don't get that quarterback position right, it doesn't matter how great your receiver is. It doesn't matter how great your running backs are. It doesn't even matter how awesome your offensive line is. If that quarterback position isn't right, the whole thing goes down the toilet. And another thing of note that I started to notice with O'Connell as a head coach, because you've seen him bring quarterbacks in, and these quarterbacks, they perform, they do well. Darnold, Joshua Dobbs. I think had Daniel Jones stayed, he would have probably fared similar to what he's doing with the Colts. But to be honest with you, and Doc, I think you should take a little bit of solace in this. I think this is actually a good thing that Brosner didn't do well, but because I believe the way that O'Connell coaches and the way that his schemes are formulated, it doesn't bode well for rookies or for young players. Like young players, they're gonna take a longer time to adapt to the plays and the style of play, the rhythm of the play, right? With O'Connell, if you've been in the league for X amount of years, 4 or 5 years, and then you go to O'Connell, then I think that transition is a lot smoother. But if this is your first time and you're just seeing, getting live like ammunition fired at you for the first time in this league, and you're trying to get adapted to this playbook and the style of calling these plays, you're going to see what you're seeing, what's happening right now with Brosnan and with JJ McCarthy. So with both of these players, particularly JJ McCarthy, I think it's time. In time, he's going to get better. He's going to get acclimated. It's going to click. But O'Connell, I think, and it's because Shanahan is the same way. Purdy's an outlier, but Shanahan all of the other rookie quarterbacks aside from Purdy, they didn't do well in his system. I think O'Connell is the same. But going to the team that actually won this game, the Seahawks, they didn't impress me either because Darnold, you saw what happened to him with the pressure, and we talked about this. You put pressure on Darnold, he starts to flake out. He starts to see ghosts again, and he couldn't get going. He couldn't get Jackson Smith and Jigba going. I think Flores had him on his heels the entire game. Luckily, the running game was adequate enough, not great, but adequate enough to keep them stable and keep them going. And then, of course, the defense, they just capitalized off of 4 interceptions by a rookie quarterback. I think if you had Joshua Dobbs in this game, if you had even Wentz in this game, Vikings would have won. I think Vikings would have won. I mean, look, 26 zip, 4 interceptions. You're supposed to win. You're supposed to win, but they didn't light it up. They didn't do anything outside of capitalize off of those errors that impressed me in this game.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll give you Dobbs. I ain't sure about wins, so I'll give you Dobbs. I'll give you Dobbs.
Don't let links influence you. You know,
I know, I know, I know, I know.
don't let
Doc,
links influence you.
Doc, you saying what's right, man. You
No,
saying what's
no,
right.
no. No, I wore all black today for a moment of silence because offense died. The offense died yesterday, so yeah. So just wearing the all black because the funeral. Um, I I I feel bad for Brosmo, right? So you are undrafted quarterback, you make the team, you get your chance to play. You probably call up your folks. Hey, can y'all come watch me play? Defense doing what the defense is doing. Be familiar with Darnold. It's 3-0. We get down fourth and 1. I think like at the 5 or the 6. And I'm thinking, okay, we gonna kick a field goal, get 3 points. Let's see what happens. Hey, let's protect the rookie undrafted quarterback. Let's not put too much on him. Let's get the positive reinforcement going. Hey, I scored some points my first NFL drive. This is awesome. All right. Nope. Nope. We going forward on 4th and 1. We calling a play action on 4th and 1, which ain't no one really buying. We gonna try to run the ball because we don't run the ball well. He's under pressure. And all of a sudden, he's like, I got to make a play. I got to make a play. I can't let the team down. He does a Will Levis and does this underhanded right to Seattle's linebacker. That dude takes off. And
There's a
right then,
spiral too.
all the doubts about the undrafted dude who played, New Hampshire for 4 years. Everyone was like, yep, there we go. That's why he wasn't drafted. That's what happened. And it all went downhill from there. That play was like, yep, it's all downhill from there. And I agree with a lot of what Lee said, which is that um, O'Connell calls his plays and he doesn't adjust for who that quarterback is. Like he's going to call his offense and either you do what he wants that offense to do or you don't. Right? But we have not been run heavy despite McCarthy, and we were doing little, dump offs and trying to spread the ball around with Brosman a little bit. But I mean, JJ got 2 catches for 4 yards. Like I never thought there'd be a day where Justin Jefferson has 4 yards receiving, and wasn't injured, right?
Yeah.
So to know that as bad as McCarthy has been, there's a lot worse. Then sort of like, hey, well, hopefully at some point it clicks with him, right?
Right.
But the issue right now is you had a team that last year looks like it was a Super Bowl contender. We can debate whether they really were or not with Darnold, in those pressure situations. And now it's like drastically different because you don't have the person who can quarterback and put again, like you don't have to carry the team, but it is a quarterback centric offense, and you don't have a quarterback that can pilot the ship. And the difference is it's night and day and then some, right? And so we got a reboot for next year. I don't know what quarterback we're going to get. I don't want it to be Kyler Murray. I don't think Brissett's good enough, though Brissett's played good the last few weeks, but we need to get ourselves a decent quarterback to pilot the ship. I mean, we got a lot of offense, a lot of weapons on offense. But I think we may have 2 or 3 more years before that offense, those weapons, because Hawkinson's not a spring chicken. And JJ's hitting his peak years. So Justin Jefferson's hitting his peak years. So, but yeah, I felt bad for Brosmer. I felt bad for that play, and that just set the whole thing, and it was just a downward spiral after that.
Yeah. Don't sleep on don't sleep on Kyler Murray. He's been in the league for a couple of years now. Like you say, if a quarterback's been in the league for a couple of years and they coming under O'Connell, Hey,
they have to be coachable as well.
that's a good point. Yeah,
They have to be coachable.
and they have to study the playbook.
yeah, that is true. That is true.
So
That is true for sure. Yeah. All right. Next game we had the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. Chargers come up with the win 31-14. I'm not gonna belabor in this game. I think it's just one of those, one of those games. Chargers should have won the game. They won the game 31-14. I don't have much more to say on that.
kudos to Chip Kelly. It wasn't his fault.
I was just gonna say that. They throw Chip under the bus. Look what happened. That I
Don't
was
go
gonna
there.
lead with that.
Don't
Yeah.
do that.
No, we
That's all
go
I
in
gotta
there.
say.
Don't
That's all I
do
gotta
that.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They spent all the time throwing. It's Chip's fault. Look what happened. 14 points. Were they all? Yeah, they was all on offense. Okay, cool. But yeah, 14 points. I wasn't even sure.
Yep.
Give them
Yep.
another week, man. Give them another week. Another week.
Yeah,
Ashton Genty, 15 carries, 31 yards.
don't make no sense. The line sucks, Links.
Yeah.
This Raiders line is awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do nothing with this line, right? Who
Yeah.
name a receiver?
All
Name
I know
one.
is all I know is Brock Bowers, and he's a tight end. That's all.
He's
I
a
know.
tight end,
Yeah.
and he scored both their touchdowns.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
What we doing?
Yeah.
It ain't your fault.
Don't go that far.
It ain't
I
your
don't. Tr-
fault.
I don't trust Chip. I don't care if it's the line. I don't care what it is. I don't trust Chip. Chip needs to stay in college. Stay
Chip
down there.
need to go to Philly.
Let me tell you.
Let bygones be bygones. Let
They, don't,
bygones be
they
bygones.
definitely don't want that.
They
don't
burned
want
his
that.
house down, right? They
Man, his
burned
house,
his house right
hey,
down.
before he even get the house, as soon as the realtor signed the papers, the house done gone.
You can't cross the Schuylkill.
Hey, you better. Okay, who would you prefer? Would you prefer Chip or Patullo?
What? I'm going with Patulo, man.
No, man.
I'm going with Patulo. I
You ain't
going with
serious.
Patulo.
You
I
ain't
can't.
serious.
Chip
You
isn't
ain't
it, man.
serious.
Chip isn't it.
You ain't serious, man.
Chip
You
isn't
ain't
it, man.
serious.
Yeah. But yeah, this one I didn't. To be expected.
That's the last one.
No, we got some more after this,
Two more.
but you.
Okay.
I don't know if you had any commentary on this one.
Oh no, I mean that's it. Bring Chip
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring Chip back.
Yeah, bring Chip back.
Yeah, bring Chip back. You know, that wouldn't happen under Chip watch.
Yeah. Ain't that happening, man.
No,
Yeah.
but with the Chargers, or Sisley, but no, seriously, with the Chargers, they played. They had a good plan. Rushing game was on point. Vidal had 126 yards rushing and a touchdown. Amarian Hampton, I thought he was coming back this game. He did not.
He didn't. Yeah.
Right, he didn't. But again, Hampton he held the fort. Herbert, he got hurt. He came back into the game, tried to gut it out, but I think now he's week to week. So we'll see how that goes. Trey Lance had a Trey Lance sighting. He had one snap, but we could very well see Trey Lance next week starting, for the Chargers. So that would be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. In this next game, you had the Buffalo Bills visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Buffalo 26, Pittsburgh 7. It was one of those. It was one of those games. Pittsburgh doesn't look particularly well at all. I know, Aaron Rodgers was really pissed at the team after the game. I don't know what he's thinking. Also, I'm hearing rumblings that Mike Tomlin. This might be it for Mike Tomlin because everybody's growing weary of him. Because every year they're going to be 9 9-7. Every year that's what they're gonna look like. So I don't know with Buffalo. Everybody jump back on. They on and off Josh Allen's. When Josh
Ridiculous.
run for 3 touchdowns and they're like, oh yeah, Josh Allen, and then the next week, oh, we don't know about Josh. Then he come back again and Josh, yeah. I'm still not sold on Buffalo. I don't think they're gonna go anywhere in the playoffs. I mean, if they get
Right.
out the first round, I think that's gonna be it for them. So I really don't see anything that to you know be happy about in Buffalo at this point. But they won the game 26-7 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who really who knows who they are. So yeah, what else can you say about that?
You know, uh, I am glad to see Aaron Rodgers as Aaron Rodgers, no matter what colors he's wearing, blaming other people for the team not doing good, calling out the receivers and saying it's receivers and the receivers had a boo-worthy performance and classic Aaron Rodgers. It's like, okay, cool, there we go. That's the guy we've all come to loathe and love.
Hello.
Um, you know, uh, I think for Buffalo, they needed a reset, and this was their reset game. Try to get things back on track. Uh, Josh Allen had a pretty good game. They fed James Cook. James Cook ran all over all over Pittsburgh. Um, it will be interesting to see what happens where I think Mike Tomlin is kind of hitting that Andy Reid in Philadelphia situation
Yeah,
where it's good, but it's not good enough.
yeah,
And so it might be his last year in Pittsburgh, but it won't be his last year coaching.
yeah.
And folks haven't made much about overall the lack of talent that the Pittsburgh Steelers have had the last few years. I don't think anyone thinks Pittsburgh's been uh, that the coaching has not optimized the players that they have. But at some point, it's either the head coach or the GM. And so, because the head coach has been in for such a long time and he's the face of the organization, it's going to come on the head coach. So we'll see how that plays out. But if Pittsburgh goes a different direction from Mike Tomlin, I think Mike Tomlin's going to end up having a choice of whatever positions are available, coaching positions are available, if he even says to coach the next year or not. The question is Pittsburgh going to get a better head coach than Mike Tomlin? Now, in Pittsburgh's defense, every head coach that's coached for Pittsburgh has won a Super Bowl. So they're 3 for 3. So we'll see what happens next time around.
Yeah, I don't know if if they'll find anyone better than Mike Tomlin. But I do understand how people can get weary when they're not seeing the results over an extended period of time, even if the coach is winning games, right? You're not having losing seasons, but at some point you have to be able to break through the threshold and start vying at least for a Super Bowl or for a championship. Um, and the thing is with Andy he was getting to NFC championship games, Super Bowl, and they still let him go.
Hmm.
What I'm seeing with Tomlin, and I don't want to I don't want to compare him to this guy, but he's trending more in the Jeff Fisher
Ooh.
trajectory, where it's like, you know, 8-8. Back then, eight and
Yep.
eight, 8-8. You're just good enough. You're not
Hmm.
losing, but you're not winning.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I don't know if Tomlin could be Tomlin anywhere else. That's my concern, because with Tomlin, he doesn't really carry a particular side of the ball where he owns it, and he can um, plant a flag and be like, hey, okay, we can get it going and get instant success because this is what I bring to the table. Outside of, I'm just a really good organizational coach, and I'm a player's coach, and I can galvanize people and bring them together. He needs a lot of support in a lot of areas in order for him to be successful. And what we're seeing right now is that he doesn't have the support or that elite support that he once had back in the day. Draft picks aren't really hitting the way they used to hit. They still haven't figured out the quarterback position. Yeah, they got Aaron Rodgers, but if the fact that Aaron Rodgers at 40, what, one, is the best quarterback you've had in the past 6 years, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Okay. And your backup is still Mason Rudolph, a guy that you had, that you let go, and that you brought back. Okay, so that's a problem. Outside of that, man, the Bills, links, you hit on it. You know, the bandwagon, the people jumped off. Now they're jumping back on. Bills still got a problem. They still have a turnover problem. Like, Aaron Rodgers, but Josh Allen, the line is abysmal. I think they lost two of their tackles, so he's always under duress. They have no elite receivers that can get open consistently down the field, so he's pressing, and so teams are just licking their chops every time he throws the ball because he has to get rid of the ball quicker than most quarterbacks have to at this point in time. And then their defense is streaky. So I don't think they're going to make a big run. I think they're going to definitely make the playoffs, but they're not the powerhouse we thought that they should have been coming into the season.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess the Denver Broncos are a powerhouse because right now they're 10-2, and they are on a winning streak. I know, what everybody's saying about Bo Nix. Bo Nix is managing the game. The defense is stepping up. I watched the latter part of this game last night. It was exciting. It was truly an exciting game. And actually, I thought that the Commanders made a valiant effort at coming back in this game and almost winning it. Oh man, that play that Benito made at the end of the game,
Mm.
um, that was. And did you see the running back go across the line? He was wide open. I'm talking
Open.
about Mariota could have threw it up in the air. He could have lobbed it up in the air, and he would have caught that ball. Nobody was anywhere around
Yep.
him. That would have been an easy win. But Benito just closed the gap and took all his space away and made him rush it, and that's what Benito has been able to do this year, man. So kudos to the Denver Broncos. They are winning these games at the end like this. This is like they're like the cardiac kids. They are just winning these games. And it was an exciting game down the end. I was like, I was actually rooting for the Commanders to win this game, because I just didn't like. I just don't like. I don't like the Denver Broncos coach.
Sean Payton.
Yeah, I don't like Peyton.
Mm.
I don't like him at
Yeah.
all. But anyway, yeah, they win the game 10-2, man. They are up there. They're rolling. So again, I still, okay. With all of this being said, with them being 10-2, they're still not gonna go to the Super Bowl. I think somebody's gonna come in there and uproot them when they get in the playoffs. But hey, Benito he's a baller. He's playing. So they won the game at the end. Great play.
No, so Denver's 10-2. Congrats on the win. They're a good team. They're not a great team. When you take a look at some of the teams that they've beaten, they've had a third or fourth place schedule, right? So they got wins against the Giants, the Jets, the Raiders, right? They've beaten some good teams. Don't get me wrong, but they've had an easier schedule. I don't think it'll be 10-2 next year at this point in time. But they're playing really good, sound football. Defense is playing well. Offense is doing its best to protect the ball. Knicks is making plays when Knicks needs to make plays, and so they're not going to beat themselves. You're going to have to beat them, right? And so that's the thing about them right now. I don't want to say Patriots football because it gets a bit cliche, but they're playing sound football, and you're going to have to go and like beat them. You can't be having the turnovers because that's going to end up being too much of a deficit. I think Washington did their best. Mariota had a heck of a game. I think like 50 attempts. And I guess the overtime they go for the win. Like that's when you gamble, you know. And we need to make the play, and so Denver wins the game. Denver wins another close one, and so things go on. So they're comfortably in that, in my opinion, comfortably in that AFC West. It's just what's going to happen come playoff time. Um, and now they're going to keep this up multiple weeks in a row. So
Yeah, Broncos not a great team as Lynx, as you stated, but I can't really pick a great team in the AFC altogether. Like I think Broncos they really have a good chance of making it to the Super Bowl because you got with the Ravens, you got the Bills, you have the Patriots, right? And Jaguars, um, Colts. If they run up against the Texans, I think the Texans could handle them. But outside of the Texans, they have a good shot of making it to the Super Bowl. Really good shot. As a matter of fact, if I was to pick a team out of the AFC to go, it would probably be this team. And
over the
I
Patriots.
don't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would pick the Broncos over the Patriots at this point. I think their defense is better,
Okay.
right? And so with that said, Nick's is he does what he needs to do in order to keep them in it, and he's keeping them in it. Sean Payton is he's spreading the ball around all these different weapons that they got on the wide receiver side. They got R.J. Harvey as the running back. He didn't have a lot of yards, but he did have 2 touchdowns at the goal line. And again, the defense they're making plays. That last play, Mariota. If Mariota had channeled his inner Jeff Blake and tossed that ball up, uh, that would have, they would have won. But
Yeah.
uh, but I can't even blame Mariota for that. It
No.
was just a really good play by Benito.
Yeah.
But that being said, you know Washington, it's an old team.
Yeah.
Mariota, he's a retread, but he's playing better now in the later stages of his career than he did in the beginning. Um,
Hmm.
Wonder, what would he do with the Vikings? I think that would be a pretty good pickup if the Vikings were looking for someone, a transitional quarterback. Um, I also wonder if the Vikings. I'm kind of pivoting here just a little bit. The Vikings had looked at Flacco earlier this week, this
Ooh,
season. That would have been very
ooh,
exciting to see how that would have played out as well. But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
neither here nor there. Washington right now, they're just vying for a good draft spot. I think once they pick up some good picks in this next draft, they get Daniels come back and let him be healthy, get younger, get more rejuvenated. They'll be back into the thick of things next year. But right now, it's all about the Broncos in this matchup.
Yeah. Well, I know we were talking about those top teams in the NFC, and tonight's game right now, the Patriots are up 30-15 on the Giants. That's to be expected
Yep.
right now. I know Jackson Dart was back, and so you know the Giants again. Like I said, I didn't expect the Giants um, to win this game, but they're not playing like a 2-9 team. I hadn't watched any highlights or anything like that, so I don't know what's really going on. I'm looking at some stats here. Jackson Dart, 14 for 19, 109 yards, touchdown, and a sack. Devin Singletary, 12 attempts, 67 yards, a touchdown. And Drake May already. I think they're getting into the fourth quarter here, starting the fourth
Hmm.
quarter and in third quarter. I mean, he already got 271 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He got sacked twice. Mondre Stevenson, 11 attempts for 35 yards. So they're trotting along, doing what they do, Patriots, and I expect them to fully win this game, seal that up, and they'll be back again the number one seed in the AFC. So yeah, I think you're looking at the AFC Championship with the with New England and Denver, if
Hmm.
that all pans out. But right now I would still lean with New England, but um, you know, d- both of the teams, anyway, it is what it is. They're winning the game right now, so I expect them to win that. So,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, y'all want to jump in on any of this on this game here?
I mean, the Patriots are doing what we thought they'd do against the Giants. I think Jackson Darts at least put up decent numbers. It's not. There's no question about Jackson Dart's playing ability. It's him using this and protecting his body. So if he can start doing that, that gives the Giants something they can build on for the future. Um, I think it'll be a really interesting matchup if the Patriots and the Broncos do end up playing in the AFC Championship game. And I think Houston, to Lee's point, could be a spoiler for both of those teams.
Could be,
All right,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
I think that's the spoiler team going up against those guys. But I think those are the three most likely at this point, the three most likely representatives of the AFC
Yeah.
going to the Super Bowl. So
Yeah, my only note on this game is when you look at Drake May, I know you talked about his stats links, but his completion percentage, 22 of 28, right? 78 percent completion. He's
Yeah,
been doing this all year. He's been really accurate,
yeah,
excellent throw of the ball, efficient, minimizes mistakes, capitalizes on the defense's mistakes, and he's really shown to be a top-notch quarterback in year two. Top-notch. He looks like, if you ask me, he's as a quarterback, I think he's playing better than Caleb Williams. Daniels, of course, is hurt, so I got to toss that to the side. But he's looking to be, you know, trending above the pack right now from that awesome quarterback class of 2 years ago.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, yeah, looking
real
good, man. Go
real
ahead.
quick, most quarterbacks have a second year slump. They still got the opposite, and Lee's talked about this before. It's because of that OC. That OC got him looking real good in New England.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I know. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll jump back on and get some of this week's games kicked off and get those picked up. But that's it for tonight, man.
All right,
All right, fellas.
later.
all
Yep.
right.
See ya.